Hiya. Welcome to my Compound Life. This is a channel where we build assets, we build habits to manage all of our assets, and of course, we build freedom, and that should really be financial freedom as well as time freedom for you, me, and everyone else that watches this channel. So if you haven't already done so, please hit the like, hit subscribe, become my subscribers. I'm really low in my subscriber counts. New content creator. Be really appreciative if you can subscribe to my channel. Let me know who you are. Let me know who you are, my 59th, 60th subscribers. Do drop me a content, guys. Please drop me a content. So in this specific episode, what I want to talk about is Bitcoin. But in this specific episode, I have this specific topic that I want to chat about. And I want to chat about, will quantum computers kill Bitcoin? If that's the case, will that be soon or will that be decades away, right? So let's break down. So let's start off with a bit of fear versus reality, right? The NIST. Okay, so you've probably seen the scary headlines. Quantum computers will destroy Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be hacked. Crypto becomes worthless overnight. Sound dramatic? I'm sure you heard about them. I'm sure you've read them on social media and so forth, right? And of course, it always does sound urgent, and it always appear when Bitcoin drops, when Bitcoin dips. It's kind of like a further kick Bitcoin price to go down even further. You know, there will always be someone that jumps out and say, quantum computers gonna kill Bitcoin, right? So bear that in mind. When do you actually hear about quantum computers? But today, we're doing something slightly different. We're going to name names, quote real researchers, and answers one honest question, right? Is this a near-term threat or a future generation problems? So essentially, kick the can down the road, let my kids and grandkids take care of it if it's a future generation problems. Because in my compound life, I don't want to cause panic, but I want us all to be thinking clearly and really plan ahead. Because, put it this way, I'm sure many of you that watches my video, Bitcoin must be your pretty big bag. Be it your hodl bag, your swing bag, it makes, you have enough of skin in the game. That's why you search for this content, right? So let's break it down further. So let's start with what is quantum computing. Like the most easiest way for me to explain to you what the hell it is. A normal computer uses bits like 1 or 0. A quantum computer uses qubits. So a qubit can exist in multiple states at the same time. So this is called superposition. So this allows quantum machines to try many different, many outcomes in parallel. It can help to solve specific problems much faster than classical computers. So important word that you need to take note of that I've just called out, specific, right? So solve specific problems much faster than classical computers. So quantum computers are not faster at everything, okay? They only outperform classical computers in very narrow use cases for now, okay? One of those use cases is breaking certain cryptographic systems. That's why Bitcoin comes into the conversation. So you're now asking me where and how it's related to Bitcoin and why Bitcoin gets mentioned all the time. So Bitcoin itself relies on two cryptographic foundations. Okay, number one, digital signature, right? Proving you actually own your coins. And number two, securing a blocks or securing blocks and mining. So the first one, digital signature part, is the main concern for quantum computing, right? Because Bitcoin currently uses, okay, I can't really pronounce the word correctly. Help me out, leave a comment and let me know if I pronounce it wrong, right? Elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, or in short, ECDSA. In theory, a sufficiently powerful quantum computer could break ECDSA using a quantum algorithm called Shor's algorithm. So that's the theory. Now let's talk about the reality. What do serious researchers actually say about quantum computing and Bitcoin? So let's start with Scott Aaronson. He's one of the world's leading quantum computing researchers and a former advisor to the US government. So Aaronson has repeatedly stated a cryptographically relevant quantum computer capable of breaking Bitcoin is many orders of magnitude beyond what exists today, right? So beyond what exists today. And not everything we should expect in the near term. He has consistently placed this in the decades away category, not around the corner, right? So there are heaps of eyes looking into this, right? And the conclusion is it will come. Surely one day with technology advances, it will definitely be in our face, and one day we'll have to address it. But it's not going to be here anytime soon. And it will continue to, it will be in the decades or so, but with no immediate worries. Okay, so that's something to take note of, right? Especially you, me, we all holders of Bitcoin. Every time we hear this kind of FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, doubts on the internet, on social media, it's going to affect our sentiment. Should I sell? Should I buy more? I hope you catch this mind video on time before you hit the sell, just because you worry about quantum computing, that would be like decades away, 10 years away, 15, 20 years away, right? So we don't have to worry about this right now. We just need to worry about security. Where do I store my Bitcoin? Don't store it in a cold wallet. Don't store it in a hot wallet, but store it in a cold wallet. Store it in a hardware wallet. Lock it up somewhere in a bank safe deposit somewhere, right? So it can be kept safe, right? And worry about quantum computing in a matter of decades. Not now, guys. So now let's talk about other institution. NIST, National Institute of Standard and Technology. So NIST or NIST has been working on post-quantum cryptography since 2016. Important point, NIST does not believe quantum attacks are imminent. Their work is preventive, not emergency driven. Okay, so if this were urgent, banks and governments would already be in crisis mode right now and worry the hell like what we're gonna do if quantum computer strikes, right? And they're not. Okay, so that really showcases it's not something highly urgent like what you've seen on social media. Okay, and Google and IBM. These are two of the most advanced quantum labs on Earth. Okay, as of 2024 until 2025, Google and IBM systems have hundreds to low thousands of qubits. They're noisy, unstable, and error-prone. To break Bitcoin, you need millions of stable, error-corrected qubits running for sustained periods. So this gap is not small, it's multiple technological revolutions away, right? So we've still got time, okay? Don't worry about quantum computing just yet, okay? Now let's talk about timeline, not if, but when will quantum computer strikes. Most credible estimate cluster around 10 to about 20 years minimum, okay? And that's under optimistic assumptions. Even NSA planning documents treat quantum cryptographic threats as long-term transition risk, not immediate threats. So this is not 2025. We don't have to worry about that right now. Not even 2026. You just need to worry about when will the Fed have a rate cut. When will US Fed be printing more, right? Nothing much about quantum computing. Probably not even early 2030s, okay? This matters because Bitcoin does not need to be quantum safe today. It needs to be quantum safe before the threats materializes, and that window is wide open. Some of you might ask, what about SHA-256 and mining? Some people said quantum breaks Bitcoin mining too. Of course it does. This is misunderstood. Quantum computers could theoretically speed up hashing using Grover's algorithm. But Grover's gives a square root speed up, not exponential. So the network can simply adjust mining difficulty. So this does not break Bitcoin. It slightly changes the economics. That's it. This is a manageable engineering issue, not an existential risk for Bitcoin. So now let's address the common misconception that Bitcoin is not frozen in time. Okay, so here's a key misunderstanding because people, right, we assume Bitcoins cannot change. That's false. Bitcoin has already upgraded, like the SegWit update, Taproot, Schroers, signatures. So when a quantum becomes a credible threat to Bitcoin, Bitcoin can migrate to quantum resistance signatures. Wallets can move funds to new addresses types. All vulnerable outputs can be deprecated, of course. So I'm not saying that quantum computer, it's so far away that we don't have to worry about now. We still need to worry about it, right? But don't let the worry cause FUD, cause you to become a weak hand and to sell of Bitcoin. However, you still need to keep up with such news. That's why you need to watch my channel, subscribe to me, that I'll ongoingly keep up with all of these updates. So hit the like, hit subscribe right now, and let me know who you are, any new subscribers, right? Because we need to constantly be on our tap dancing shoe and be ready to pivot if any of such risks arise, right? So for now, just keep the cool, right? It's not immediately affecting Bitcoin. So this is not theoretical. NIST has already approved post-quantum signature schemes like Crystal Delirium, Falcon. So Bitcoin developers are watching this space carefully and ready to deploy, ready to make changes on the code so that we can all be quantum safe. Of course, the bigger perspective most people miss. Here's the part that calms me the most. Okay, if quantum computer can break Bitcoin, they can also easily break banks, government's communications, military encryption, the internet itself. So Bitcoin will not be alone on this. The entire global financial system would already be migrating long before Bitcoin is at risk. Bitcoin is not the weakest link. In many ways, it's the most adaptable technology out there than any legacy system. So bear that in mind, guys. So here's my clear point of view for long-term Bitcoin holders like you and me. Let me be very clear. This changes nothing about Bitcoin strategy today. I'm not selling. I'm not reducing exposure because I'm worried about quantum computing. I mean, come on, right? I'm not worried this decade. I'm worried. It's still in my mind. I'll monitor it. I'll monitor the progress. But I'm not gonna, because of such news, to start sell off my Bitcoin, right? So this is a monitor over time risk, not an emergency. Bitcoin has faced regulatory threats, nation-state bans, exchange collapses, media attack, quantum computing. It's just another future challenge that we need to face. And Bitcoin has a long history of adapting, so bear that in mind. So all of you out there, stay calm, no fear. Don't fear about quantum computing. So when someone says to you, quantum computers will kill Bitcoin, ask them which researcher, right? Let me know the comments if they do know, right? Because I also want to keep up with such news. Which laboratory says that? Which year, right? Because serious experts are not screaming quantum computer is an issue for Bitcoin. However, they are planning, no doubt, right? And Bitcoin has time. Bitcoin has time to adapt. So in my compound life, we build assets. One of our lifetime opportunity or asset we build is actually Bitcoin. So I know myself and yourself have plenty of skin in the game, right? So that's why we build assets. We build habits to keep up with the news of whatever the hell we invest. In this specific case will be Bitcoin. And of course, we want to build freedom. So I don't want to introduce an asset to you that doesn't have longevity, right? I want one day to pass this asset to my kids, my grandkids, through my long-term Bitcoin hodl bag. And I hope you guys follow the same path too, right? So that's where we can gain financial freedom, time freedom for you, me, and the rest of any other people that watches my channel. So please don't be panicked at headlines and compound through decades to come. If you like my video, hit the like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys, bye.